everyone, we are the biology group from Teacher Sue International School, and we're secondary 2 students, and we are team
Biophysics.
So today we'll be showcasing our biology projects for the art and science fair. Now let's get started. So we'd like to start with the human respiratory system. My name is Leander, and this is
𝐏𝐫𝐸𝐞𝐨.
So when we breathe in, the oxygen goes through the nasal cavity and then leads down to the pharynx, which is the throat. And after the pharynx, we have something called the 𝐏𝐵𝐾𝐽, which is right here. It opens for the air to enter our lungs, and it closes when we are eating for the food to not enter our airways. That's why the adults say we couldn't speak when we eat. And then we have the larynx, which is the voice box. It allows our body to speak, and then the air goes down to the trachea, which is the windpipe, which divides into two parts called
Bronchi. The singular form is bronchus and the plural form is bronchi. And each of the bronchus goes into each of the lungs, to the left lung and to the right lung. And inside the lungs, it divides into smaller branches called bronchioles. And in these inside the lung, there are millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli, and the alveoli, they are covered with very thin walls and blood capillaries. And we have the rib bones here. The rib bones protects the lung, and inside the rib bones we have the intercostal muscle here. And the intercostal muscles, it moves during breathing. And we have the diaphragm right here. The diaphragm, it moves upwards when we breathe out, and it moves inward when we breathe in.
So now let's move on to the excretory project.
So now we will be presenting about the human excretory system, also known as the urinary system. I'm Catherine, and here is Ellen. Firstly, I would like to talk about the main function of this system. The main function of this system is to remove waste substances from the blood and keep the body healthy. And then, as you can see here in our model, there are two kidneys, which are bean-shaped organs, and the kidneys filter the blood that comes from all parts of the body, especially from our organs and muscles after respiration. This blood contains waste substances such as urea, azote, salts, and water, which are produced when we break down food and release energy. And then the dirty blood enters the kidneys, and then through the renal artery, as you can see here, is shown in red. And inside the kidneys, the waste is removed. Then the clean blood leaves then through the renal vein, as you can see here, is shown in blue, and then returns to the heart to be circulated again.
After the waste is filtered out, it becomes the urine. The urine travel from the kidney through the ureters, which are the lungs connected to each kidney, and then it is stored in the urinary bladder. When the bladder is full, the urine leaves the body through the ureter. So that is very important to maintain the excretory system very well. If we do not, the waste product can build in the blood and then causes problems such as urinary tract infection, swelling, high blood pressures, and kidney failure. However, if we take care of our excretory system very well by drinking enough water, avoiding too much salt, and then eating healthy food, the kidney can work properly. So that in conclusion, the healthy excretory system help remove toxins, maintain balance in the body, and then keep us alive and well. Thank you.
Hi. So today we'll be explaining about the structure of the DNA model. I'll come up with a brief explanation of the structure, while Kiwi will be explaining about the functions. So as you can see here, this shows how the DNA spins and functions inside our body. As you can see, in the terms of structure, it's microscopic, and it uses, in the small space, it stores a large amount of information. And in here, there's adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine, and they always pair with adenine and thymine, cytosine, and guanine. And this pairing helps organize the structure of the DNA and helps cell division or mitosis to occur inside our body properly. And in here, the blue atoms shows that it's the phosphate and sugar which forms the backbone of the DNA. And so that's one point as well. And in terms of inheritance, the DNA inside our body passes out into our children, and this ensures the continuity of our generations formations.
So I will continue with the functions of DNA. To begin with, DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, and it is a genetic material found in all living organisms. So the location of DNA in our body is inside the nucleus of our cells, and it can control how our body grows and functions properly. Moving on, I would like to explain the relationship between DNA, genes, and chromosomes as they are closely connected. DNA is a long molecule that carries genetic information, and DNA is extremely important because it can control our physical characteristics and give instruction to make proteins which are important for growth and repair in our bodies. And what said by DNA copy itself so the new cell receives the same information. Apart from that, DNA is also useful in real life. For example, in medicine, DNA helps doctors to understand and treat diseases in a better way. And it is also used in crime investigation to identify people and solve cases. In addition, DNA helps scientists to investigate and study about our living organism so that they can understand more about the living on Earth.
So in conclusion, this model helps us visualize how the DNA is inside our body and functions inside our body as well. Now we'll move on to the dinosaur presentation.
So lastly, we have a project about how dinosaurs went extinct. So these people proposed that the dinosaurs went extinct because of a giant asteroid impact caused by a massive asteroid in 66 million years ago. In 1980, Louis Alvarez, Walter Alvarez, with Frank Astro and Helen Mitchell came up with this theory. So what did scientists think happened when the asteroid hit? So the immediate effects would be mega tsunamis, earthquakes, and shock waves, and then lead to the global darkness, climate change, wildfires, and acid rains. It all leads to the mass extinction, causing 75% of the species to lose, and then including the dinosaurs. Yeah, and the other factors could contribute to this effect as well. So what are the other factors, Raven?
Allow me to explain, Leander. So in here, the leading reason of the extinction of the dinosaurs could have been that the global Iridian space and the Chicxulub Mexican crater and the Indian Deccan traps that exploded the volcanoes. So basically because of them and combining the asteroid strike, it could result that the extinction of the dinosaur could have been valid.
So that is it for the dinosaur. So thank you everyone for listening to our biology project, and we are team
𝐏𝐫𝐨𝐣𝐞𝐜